I'm drowning in your love, let's sail away. You got me caught up in a dream.
Last month, I challenged myself to do the Chloe Ting 2020 Shred program for 2 weeks. It was long, hard, and to be honest, kind of disappointing. I had wanted a shift, a shock, something to wake me up. Instead, I found that 2 weeks paired with period cravings and a lack of motivation meant that I was left in a very different place from where I thought I was going to be. I wasn't unhappy with my body. I was starting to see some abs and I looked good. So at the end of it, instead of giving up or completely changing course, I went back to basics. I wanted to build a habit again, get excited about form and moving and all the different things I knew my body could do. This month, I didn't want to test a program, a style, be locked into one thing. I just wanted to move in as many different ways as I could, as often as I could, for 30 days. Just like with my bar video, this does not mean 30 workouts. This means working out for at least 5 days a week, sometimes more, for a 30-day span. For me, this meant using Center. Last year, back when I started working out consistently, my first introduction to the world of fitness was this app. Yes, it's a monthly subscription. No, this video isn't sponsored. And yes, it's Chris Hemsworth's app. As for the reasons I use it though, it's really because of 3 things. 1, I like that the program is laid out for you. This means that I never have to think about what video to do and I don't have to spend an hour looking through a catalog only to not pick anything. 2, there's a different style of workout every day. Pilates, HIIT, boxing, functional movement. There's enough things to keep me from getting bored. And 3, in every session, it's always form first. Meaning I now know how to do a burpee and I can take those things and use them with any other workout plan or app. Okay, let's go.
People telling me you gotta let it go.
Week 1 honestly kind of felt nice after Chloe Ting. It was great to mix up the styles of workout, but it was also great that she absolutely kicked my cardio butt back into gear, so I wasn't completely incapable of doing a lot of the workouts. Even though this is week 1, I want to talk about consistency and growth. Last year was really the first time in my adult life that I started moving my body regularly. Sure, I'd go through spurts of yoga or the gym, but nothing really stuck. Because of that, I was always kind of stuck at the beginner level. Yes, I had technically gone to dozens of yoga classes over the years, knew what an elliptical did at the gym, but I never really figured out what I was doing. I was always the new kid, learning how things worked, who everyone was, where to find my locker. When I started moving at least 5 times a week and taking the time to sweat and breathe and be comfortable in the uncomfortable, I started growing. No, I didn't get taller, but I started finding out that I couldn't really call myself a beginner anymore. I learned the basic moves, made friends with my trainers, and figured out where on my legs my resistance band actually needed to go. I started looking forward to jump rope and boxing, to pulsing in some horrific position in Pilates, to trying to punch away invisible enemies in kickboxing. Every day of the week had a different workout, and I got to know them all again by name. Every workout needed me to be something different. HIIT meant I needed to focus on lifting a weight properly. Yoga meant I got to stretch and test my flexibility. Functional movement meant I needed to prepare to cry. By the end of week 1, I was ready for more.
Look up from your telescope, take me on this journey home. I don't wanna wait no more. Lay me down behind the moon.
By week 2, I couldn't believe I was almost halfway through. Moving again felt almost like a chore in the first week as I got used to getting up, eating breakfast, and then getting my workout done before work. I wasn't used to needing to be up early, needing to eat, to digest, to rest before I got ready to move and sweat. But by week 2, it was already getting easier. I wasn't too sore because I spent the first week at a slightly easier level. But this week I cranked most of the workouts to 11 and switched them to advanced. This meant that they were longer, more complicated, and more intense. Found that I was using heavier weights, complaining slightly less, and almost looking forward to my mornings. Most of all, week 2 is when I got back into a place I hadn't been for a long time. When I started working out consistently, I started feeling less like a workout was something I had to do and more like a skill I was building, like learning how to make sushi or speaking French. I started to see it as training, as a test for if I could keep up with the trainer, if I could keep good form for the whole session, if I could go 1 extra rep instead of quitting early. Lately, working out has been something to get through, something to test, something to film. By week 2, it was something just for me. Something to make me sweat, something to make me strong, something to make me question my limits. So I leaned into that feeling. I settled into the sweat and the breath and the discomfort, and I grew into it. If developing a workout habit was easy, everyone would do it all the time. There's always a point where you're trying to get into a habit or routine when your old life, or the old version of it, tries to remind you that it used to be there. For me, this meant remembering when mornings were mine, when they were a time to get up early, to read, to relax, and do absolutely nothing before work. Working out means that part of that long stretch is broken up with movement, with sweating, with scrambling to shower before work starts. It means the morning isn't as slow, as peaceful, as relaxed. I didn't get to drink an extra cup of coffee, sit a little longer to read my book, to take extra time getting out of bed. It meant that I didn't get to sleep in a little, hit snooze to skip making my bed. For a minute, I got lost in the things I was missing. And then, out of obligation to this challenge and to myself, I kept going. And I realized that this wasn't really about the things I was missing. It's about the things I gained by moving my body almost every day. Working out in the morning is like making your bed. It's a small thing, it doesn't have to take a lot of time, but slowly, it makes you better. Not because you can fold a duvet back over and fluff a pillow, but because you can do something, complete something, every day.
Baby shampoo, come and save me. I've been missing Lady Luck ever since she started.
As you saw in my last video, working out burns calories. So let's talk about food. I haven't mentioned food in these videos before, but I think it's something that belongs in any workout challenge. This month, I wanted to be athletic again. I wanted to be fast, be flexible, be agile, but most of all, I wanted to be strong. This meant fueling my body with everything it needed to do that. I ate lots of fruit, vegetables, protein, and fats. These came in so many forms: pizza, oats, ice cream, salads, sandwiches. Sometimes it was probably more than I needed, sometimes it was less. I didn't count, didn't restrict, but also didn't go too crazy. Mostly, I tried to listen to what my body needed in order to make my workouts as good as possible. Sometimes that looked like fruit, sometimes it looked like pasta. Sometimes it looked like a warm cup of tea at the end of the day because it's a pandemic and I'm apparently 95 years old, but we're learning to be okay with that too. I didn't move to eat, I ate to move. Working out when my body doesn't have enough to work with always feels like I'm trying to run on empty. When I was trying to push harder to do one more squat, one more burpee, or throw one more punch, I didn't want to do that on empty. I wanted to do that with fuel. Week 4 didn't feel like the last week of the challenge. It felt like another week of my life. And that's the most important part of this whole video, that by the end of it, it just felt like another part of my day, a part of my week, a part of my life. The first time I did a 30-day workout challenge, I was surprised at how quickly 30 days went by. Before I started moving my body, it always seemed like too much effort, too much commitment, just too much to think about working out for longer than a week. 30 days can go by quickly, and I realized it was up to me to decide what to do with them. This month, I decided I wanted to get stronger, and so I did. My abs are still taking their sweet time, but I can do push-ups again, throw a punch, crawl like a pug. Most of all, I can move. If you're new here, welcome. I make new videos every Thursday. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks so much for watching. See you next week.